What's good with you? Back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking. Before I get into the main topic of today's video, the first question that I wanted to pose to you guys is, how do you feel about that current ongoing, or rather recently concluded event, depending on when you watch this video? The one where the main attraction is 4 automatic pistols and I guess some nickname decorators and stuff like that. Neither here nor there. The reason that I pose this question to you is because, in my personal opinion, this is one of the worst events in Enlisted. Not worse than the ones where we literally don't get any type of weapon or squad at all, but it is definitely on the bad side as far as like requirements or what it asks of you, considering the fact that all we get are 4 automatic pistols, and pistols are, pretty much trash in this game. I cannot bring myself to want to play 5 games per day, especially considering the fact that the average Enlisted game is anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. So this is just me coming from somebody who has a job and does not do this full time, and as much as I like this game, I don't play it all day every day. I think you guys may have been asking for too much by asking players to complete 5 matches per day, especially for automatic pistols. Like, I mean, that's cool and everything and it's unique, but let's be real, pistols are not anything to write home about in Enlisted, and they never have been. So I don't think this is anything that will change or make me want to play 5 games per day, which is a lot to ask for if I'm being completely honest, and you guys might be getting a little selfish on that one. If you want to increase the playtime, there are much better ways to do it. Aside from all that, we actually do have some viable news that, is worth posting in the video. They recently concluded a second playtest in regard to the merge that has been delayed over and over again. We are getting it, I'm going to assume, at least before the end of the year, but I'm honestly not even going to say anything about a date anymore, because whatever they say, they keep saying soon and it just never happens. So I'm just not going to make any false promises or anything like that. Neither here nor there, they are making changes to the matchmaking. From the first playtest, they essentially were going to base things more so on historical accuracy and matchmaking. And when I say that, I mean how strong your equipment is that you actually have equipped in your squads. After a numerous amount of feedback from you guys and I guess from internal playtesting, they have concluded that they want to base it more so on the equipment alone instead of historical accuracy. So essentially what that means now is that if you have a bunch of late game equipment, you will appear in places where your said faction was in late game World War II, if that makes any sense. On the flip side of that, if you are playing with a bunch of early war equipment, then you will of course be put in places where your said faction was in the early part of World War II. To give you an example, let's say you had an American squad with a bunch of Springfields, then you would only be in places like Tunisia in the Pacific. But if you had an American squad with a bunch of 30 cals and drum magazine Thompsons, then of course you would be placed in Normandy, if that makes any sense. To give you another example, let's say you were playing as Germany with a bunch of early war equipment like pre-war Kar 98Ks. You would appear in places like Stalingrad and Moscow and Tunisia. But of course, if you deck your squad out with STG 44s, then you're going to appear in places like Stalingrad and Berlin, of course, in accordance to the equipment that they actually used in that time frame and area of the world. Another neat thing about this new matchmaking that they are introducing is that if you are a newer player to Enlisted, then you will be put in an entirely separate queue that is meant specifically for new players. I guess in the grand scheme of things, you could say that this game is now going to introduce skill-based matchmaking, but it's not necessarily dependent upon your skill. It's more so dependent upon the equipment that you have equipped in your squad. But of course, if you are somebody of high skill, then more than likely you're going to be using, high tier equipment, unless you're deliberately trying to seek out early war experience, in which case you would equip your squad with early war weapons. And then at that point you can kind of balance things around the guns instead of around, oh, I'm level 30 instead of, oh, I'm level 15 and I can't really do anything against the squad that has, a Tiger 2 or whatever the case may be, and a bunch of STGs, and I only have 20 round Thompson. The key feature of this new matchmaking system, that they say anyway, is that it will allow them to flexibly change the number of queues at any given time. So perhaps in the future the number of queues will increase and each queue will include fewer battle ratings. This could happen if we see that the wait times and number of players per battle are increasing, and allow them to adjust this without, causing any issue, for lack of better words. So basically they will make the wait time smaller for every game mode in Enlisted, which is a plus for me in my personal opinion. The only other thing they talk about in this article is the fact that they are reverting the changes that they made to Stalingrad engineers, where they took away the ability for them to use automatic weapons. Instead, they kind of came to a compromise where they are going to allow you to get that squad back, and then they're going to have events that will give you engineer squads that have the ability to use automatic weapons, because essentially they didn't want to take away that squad that you paid for in Stalingrad, but they also didn't want to give engineers the ability to use automatic weapons generally speaking, so they're going to put it in an event instead, which is, I guess, is a good middle ground. But that's pretty much it for the update. I'll post the article in the comments section. Let me know what you think down below, and I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching. Oh, and don't forget to aim for that like button, shoot that subscribe button as well. Help you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking. And yeah, black guy out. What?